Today we got a lot. The stadium uncertainty around the Chicago Bulls as they're apparently now looking at parts of Indiana potentially for the next stadium, injury concerns, playoff pressure, and the Bears-Packers showdown with everything on the line for both teams. We're going to get to all and more right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go to get into this content for today, y'all. And the first one, this one came out late yesterday. I didn't feel like it warranted a breaking news episode, but we're definitely going to talk about it. In the evening yesterday, Kevin Warren did issue a letter to fans regarding the new stadium situation and expressed a desire to keep the team in Cook County at Arlington Heights at that location. But he did say issues with legislator, it is what it is, are impacting the project, and Warren states that the stadium will not be a priority for state leadership in 2026. That has led the team to explore alternative stadium site options, including Northwest Indiana. Now, this is something I don't like. Already moving the team to Arlington Heights was one thing, right? Which, I get it. Arlington Heights isn't technically that far from the heart of Chicago. It's a nice drive, but it's not that far, right? Moving it to Indiana, and I know the Bears wouldn't be the first team to not play within the city or even the state technically that they are in. You look at the Giants, right, playing in East Rutherford, New Jersey, right? You look at that part of it. There are other teams as well, so it's not like this would be something that is earth-shattering or anything. And the Bears are looking specifically, it's because they're not just looking for a stadium. They're also looking for a place to build an epicenter, right? They want to have restaurants, hotels, everything that they own. And so because of that, they are looking at alternate sites. Now, I get it that, if it keeps getting pushed back. And if it's not going to be something that Arlington Heights is really going to focus on in 2026, maybe that's why the Bears are looking for new things. The Bears are trying to build something that is not going to use taxpayer dollars. That's something that Kevin Warren said in this. He said, "We have not asked for state taxpayer dollars to build the stadium at Arlington Heights. We ask only for a commitment to essential local infrastructure, which includes roads, utilities, and site improvements, which is more than typical for projects of this size. Additionally, we sought a reasonable property tax certainty to secure financing. We listened to the state leadership and relied on their direction and guidance, yet our efforts have been met with no legislative partnership." So, listen, it seems like Kevin Warren's fed up. And, already dealing with trying to get it in downtown Chicago, it didn't work out, to keep it on the lakefront, and it just didn't work out. And I'm sure this is frustrating for Kevin Warren. He wanted to have this done by now. People will remember that one of Kevin Warren's first order of business was to get the stadium up. And that has now been pushed back several years, right? And so it is an important thing of the franchise. That is why they brought in Kevin Warren. That his experience with helping getting deals like that done was part of the reason why he got this job. I'm not going to say it's the entire reason why he got this job, but it is part of the reason he got this job. And so I'm sure that this is frustrating. It's frustrating for Bears fans, but I'll tell you what, I do not want, in no shape, form, or fashion, do I want the Chicago Bears to be playing in Indiana. I don't want it to happen. So, we'll see what happens to that. The Bears did buy Arlington Park, and so that's great there. But let's see if they can get this done. Hopefully, this is Kevin Warren using the leverage that he can get to try to push, this forward and get a little bit more of certainty and get this, prioritized a little bit more so that we can get the new stadium that Bears fans have been waiting for, that Bears fans have deserved. And honestly, we have the oldest stadium in the NFL. It's time for a new stadium. It's just time for it. And so hopefully this can all come together at some point. They can all get on the same page, and then we can move on. The Bears can get the stadium that they need, that the fan base deserves. They can make more money off of it because the Chicago Bears have never owned their own stadium. And it's time. And that's really what this Bears team is now focused on. They want the ownership of the stadium team and the land around it if they can, because of what that means for revenue, what that means for the team, what that means for everything. And I get it. That's not technically stuff to do with football per se, right? But you still want that to be a part of the conversation. So we're going to see what's going to happen there. Hopefully it gets done. And this is just Kevin Warren using what he can to kind of push some things a little bit more through and put some pressure on Arlington. And we'll see if it's the truth. Let's see what happens there. But all right, let's move on from that to injuries, right? So I'm not going to belabor this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time like I did on it yesterday because not much has really changed with that. But when you look at it, there's starting now to be serious concern if Luther Burden or Rome Odunze is going to play. That's really the thing to take away from the injury report. Tyson Bagent was a full participant after being limited. DeAndre Swift was also added to it as a limited participant after not being a part of it at all, the injury report at all the day before. Cole Kmet still limited. Travis Homer went from limited to a full participant. Tremaine Edmunds is still limited as well. But then same guys. Luther Burden did not participate. Rome Odunze did not participate. Amen did not participate. Andrew Billings did go from a DNP to a full participant with his illness, so that's good. But as we get closer to this, the last injury report comes out today, and as we get closer and closer, it just looks like the Bears are going to be missing two of their key wide receivers in this. And that means that guys like Jahade Walker, DJ Moore, of course, Oz, they're going to have to step up. And this is an important matchup against this Green Bay Packers team. Now, the thing that I talked about yesterday is still true as well. The Packers have a bevy of injuries themselves, so it's not like it's just the Chicago Bears that are affected by injury, but it is something to kind of keep looking out for, and hopefully the Bears can tighten this thing up and they can get it together, because if they do, if they can, I think we'll see, man. We need this win against the Packers. We need this win against the Packers, and that's the only way that the Bears can fully control their own playoff destiny. They need to get wins. They need to go 1-0. Shout out to Crimson, 1-0 in every week. And if they can do that, that's how they can start stacking those wins and getting those in the areas that they need to. So let's hope that the Bears can do that. Let's hope that they can wake up, that they can get that done. And even if they are missing, some of those guys that they have enough in the pipeline to where they can still be effective and get this win, because we need this win against the Packers. I cannot highlight that enough, how much we need this win. So, but that's the injury update. Hopefully we get a little bit more today, and we'll see what's going to happen with that one, right? With that said, let's move on. Ben Johnson had some comments in regards to the Bears playoff push. And you guys know, I love the quotes from Ben Johnson. He's one of my favorite quotable coaches that we have maybe ever had. He did say this: it's going to come down to the wire here, it seems like, in the AFC and NFC. I've been saying it all along. We got to continue to win. We got to earn that right to make it to the postseason. He's not wrong. He also went on to say this: there doesn't need to be much of a message. They know what's at stake. Fuck, good, right? If Ben Johnson doesn't make you want to run through a wall for him, you don't have a pulse. Either that or you just don't love sports, and you definitely don't love Chicago Bears football. This matchup against the Packers is huge. Now, the Bears can technically still make the playoffs as a wild card or whatever, if they don't beat the Packers. But again, handle what's in your control. Keep it in your control. And the only way that the Bears can do that is continuing to win, right? We need this game. We need this win. We need the next one as well against the San Francisco 49ers. We need these dubs. And so Ben Johnson saying that he doesn't need to send a message, that these players understand what's at stake here. That's all I needed to hear, because that tells me this team understands business. They understand what's in front of them and what that they need to do to get us in a position to be able to win this football game. And that's all I need to hear. If Ben Johnson is confident in it, then hey, then I'm confident in it, right? And that's what the respect that Ben Johnson has earned. That's the right that Ben Johnson has earned when it comes down to that. And hopefully this team is locked in and ready. And we've talked about the things that they need to do, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Start fast, start early, and continue it for a full 4 quarters. You need to put up points in every quarter. And I don't mean field goals. You need to score a touchdown and try to in every single quarter if you want to beat the Green Bay Packers, regardless if Watson's out or not. You have to do that. And the offensive line, the running game, those are all going to be major parts of that. But when Ben Johnson saying they know what's at stake, Ben Johnson needs to understand what's at stake as well. And I don't say that to shit on Ben Johnson at all, but I say that like, don't wait until the third quarter to rediscover your running game again. Don't wait until after we lose momentum to rediscover your running game. Use your running game, which has been nothing but a plus weapon for you. Use that to establish yourself early. And then let's see what Caleb brings, right? But trust that running game early. Don't wait until we've lost some momentum, until we lost some rhythm with the passing game, not necessarily getting out to a fast start like we need them to. Trust the running game. And hopefully these players are locked in on both sides of the ball, because I tell you what, it's all but said. You got to lock this in. And you got to have your head on the swivel. You got to do all those type of things, because if you do not, this is going to be a game where you're going to get punched in the face and you're going to not like the results that come of that. So, everybody needs to be on their P's and Q's. The offense, the defense, we need to be in synergy. We need to have one of those games. A lot different of a task than what we faced off against the Cleveland Browns, with that. But you can keep a lot of the same things that you try to do against the Browns. Get points early, get points often, get in rhythm. Caleb needs to be able to be accurate, right? I'd love to see another 60% game from Caleb Williams as well. Get all these things together, and then let's see what we can shake out with it. I can deal with the loss. I won't be happy with the loss, but I can deal with the loss if the Bears put it all out there. Where it sucked about the last loss is we left too much on the table in the first half of that game. Come out here, give a full 4 quarters of football. Make Matt LaFleur really have to coach this shit up to beat you. Make Jordan Love really have to dig down into the depths to beat you. Make the defense push them to the brink to where they got to stop you. They got to fight you. They got to claw. They got to elbow you in the face. They got to do all those things to stop you. Do not let them come into Soldier Field and think shit's sweet, because shit ain't sweet in Chicago. And it's definitely not sweet for these cheesehead ass motherfuckers. Let's go out here. Let's take care of business, because tell you what, they already talking shit. Not that that matters. They already talking shit. You got to go out there and get it done. And you got to lock in. And let's hope that this Bears team can do that. If they can, great. If not, we're not going to make the playoffs. That's just what I'm willing to say at this point. If the Bears cannot live up to this moment, and I don't just mean this moment just against the Packers. I mean this stage that we are right now, the right that we have earned to get to this place, to be able to truly be contending for a postseason appearance. We've earned that through how we've played. Hasn't always been pretty, hasn't always been perfect, and it damn sure hasn't been flawless, but we got dubs. Right? And that's we have earned the right to be in this position. Do not waste this opportunity that you fought your ass off in several fourth quarter comebacks to get to, just to now shit it now that we're here at the end of the final 3. Let's go out here and get this shit done. And I hope that the Bears are ready for the moment, because if they are, things are going to look a lot better for this team. And Dennis Allen, Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle, Al Harris, everybody got to have this team ready, prepared, and willing to go. I want to see a team that comes out here on Saturday and that looks everybody in their face and say, listen, this is Chicago. This is Soldier Field. This is the field where so many legends have played on. You're not about to come in here and you're not about to snatch away our hope of getting into a postseason by defeating us. You're not about to snatch away our hope of winning the NFC North by beating us here. You're going to have to kill us to do it. And make the Green Bay Packers, if they're going to beat you, make them have to fight and push to the brink to get that shit done. Yeah, that's what I want to see from this team. And let's hope that we can get it, because if we can, hey, we could be talking about some postseason football, and we'll see what's going to happen. With that said, though, there's been a lot made about Al Harris lately, right? I talked a little bit about him, right? And there's talk about him potentially getting a defensive coordinator job. And there's been people, some of you guys have asked things like, hey, what can the Bears do to avoid Dennis Allen leaving, all that type of stuff. They really can't do much. Like, even if they were to give him a raise, the only thing that they can do is give him a promotion to defensive coordinator to where a team can, and they're not going to fire Dennis Allen to get that done, right? But with that said, Dennis Allen talked about Al Harris, and he said this. When you play this game, you've played this game at a high level like he has, there's an instant credibility in terms of what you can provide from a player's perspective. Al will talk to us sometimes in terms of like looking through the helmet as opposed to the ball cap. I think that's a valuable resource to have. It's a valuable resource for players to have. But I think that in the mindset of how we're going to play and how we're going to attack the ball, I think he's brought those things. I'm extremely happy with him and really all the assistants. And as things shape up, it seems like it's more and more likely that somebody's going to come knocking to get Al Harris an opportunity as a defensive coordinator. Now, if it does not happen this offseason, great. We don't have to make any major changes. But when you look at it as well, it's coming soon. If the Bears continue to have this success, especially as a secondary that's getting the takeovers, the takeaways that they are, it's going to eventually come. The Chicago Bears defense right now is ranked 18th in pass defense. So not great, not terrible either, right? But I think what people have to look at between what he's done as a player, also what he's already done as a coach in the secondary and how the secondary has come up with big plays and he's coached those guys up, it's only going to be a matter of time. But that's kind of what you want, right? You want to build a coaching staff that then teams go and look at, hey, we need to poach X assistant from this team because, listen, they're doing it right over there, or they have the right mentality. That's kind of what you want. The downside about that is it makes it more difficult to keep your guys and your unit together. So, that's something that we have to deal with in the offseason. If we got to deal with it, we got to deal with it. Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen found Al Harris. I'm not saying anybody could just walk in and replace Al Harris, but I do think we have a coaching staff that knows what they want as far as personality, as far as leadership, and they know what they want as far as execution. And if it does come down to us losing Al Harris, I'm going to trust Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson to go out there and find another guy that's going to help this team. Maybe not that has the experience of what Al Harris does as a player, but you have to find another guy that can help this team out. It's going to suck if we lose him. It's going to suck. And, I'm going to be sad about it because, I love this coaching staff so much from the perspective of what they've brought to this team from leadership and all that. I love what this team has as far as perspective. But only so much of it is in your control sometimes. And we'll see if it's in the Chicago Bears' control if Al Harris gets that offer. And if he does, I'm not going to do nothing but be happy for him. Al Harris has earned that right. He's earned that opportunity, even through doing what he's done for the Chicago Bears so far. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that, though. Do you think that the Bears are going to be able to keep Al Harris? If you do, how long? Can they make it into another season? And if so, the Bears have success, especially if, I didn't even talk about if the Bears do win some playoff games. It's going to be difficult, and it's going to get more and more difficult as it goes on, but we shall see what happens there with Al Harris. Let's get into the last topic of today, and this is a topic that's a little bit of a petty point to me, right? So many people talked about Ryan Poles and his draft history, and let me be clear that a lot of that criticism was deserved, right? People even at the top of this year started criticizing Ryan Poles' draft, right? Especially because Colston Loveland wasn't expected. The Bears didn't get a running back, all that type of stuff. Look at what Kyle Monangai has done now, right? But when you look at it, Ryan Poles has done a great job, so much so that Pro Football Focus ranked Colston Loveland the third best rookie in the NFL. Third best, right? And so that's great. They also graded him out as the sixth best tight end in the game of football. Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Haize were the only two rookies that were ranked above him. That's it, right? But it didn't stop there at all for the Chicago Bears. Luther Burden also was 8th on the top 10 rookie list. The Chicago Bears have 2 of the top 10 rookies. Now, Pro Football Focus isn't all the end-all, be-all. And I do think at the end of the season, you're going to see some of one of these guys' names on a lot of lists as far as best rookies on the season because we're not done yet, and they really have only started really uncovering and being a consistent part of that for the Chicago Bears. But to have Luther Burden and to have Colston Loveland rank where they rank as far as the top 10, you just can't deny what they've done so far. That's great. And it's amazing to see that the Bears can have a rookie class. And this is why having the right coach and the right system in place is hugely important. And then drafting to the strengths of that system. But you have to have a system that you trust. And even without seeing it, Ryan Poles trusted Ben Johnson and went out and got guys that he needed for his system. And that's great to see, right? And it's awesome. And I think that these two guys have already shown themselves that they are going to be 2 of Caleb Williams' favorite weapons. They're going to grow with Rome Odunze as well. And they're going to be good in this. And, let's also look at Colston Loveland, what he's done as a blocker sometimes. So much gets made about what he does as a pass-catching tight end, which is great. But Colston is also a really good blocker. Really damn good blocker. Probably the best route runner on the team. Really good when it comes down to that. But it doesn't stop there. When you really look at the 2025 draft class for the Chicago Bears, you have Luther Burden, you have Cole Kmet, you have Ozzie Trapillo, who what he started to show as this season has gone on as well. It's been huge. It's been major to see Ozzie Trapillo have this. After the talk at the start of the season of him winning the left tackle role, ended up not winning that, but now starting to look like exactly what we thought we were getting in a guy in Ozzie Trapillo that doesn't allow pressures, right? He's really good in that. He came in with the reputation of not allowing pressure. He's allowed some in the NFL level, but as a rookie, you expect that. And then you look at 7th round pick Kyle Monangai and look at what he's brought to this team already, right? He forced his way into this lineup at a time where, he didn't start. Ben Johnson said he trusted him, but he wasn't getting a lot of touches. Now he's worked himself to be a trusted member of this Bears offense. And guess what? We typically are better when Kyle Monangai gets more touches. The Bears have done a great job with their rookie class this year. Keep in mind, players like Zay Frazier didn't even get to play because of injury. The Bears did a good job, and we're going to continue to see how these players develop over this time. But I tell you what, Ryan Poles has made questionable picks over his time here as the GM. That's why I did say some of the criticism that he earned was absolutely deserved. But even taking that away, right, when you look at the talent that he got in the 2025 draft, That's been amazing, and that shows that that this team can evaluate the right talent in the draft and go out there and get it. And a lot of you guys did not even like the Coastal, or had questions about why we went Coastal Loveland when we did over other tight ends that were rumored to go to the Chicago Bears. The Bears got it right this year in the draft. They got it right in this year in the draft. Now we got to go out and see how much more can they get it right. Of course, we got other guys that weren't able to show much. Shamar Turner, we haven't got to see a lot from him. Right, Ruben Hippolyte's been hurt. So this draft class can get even better as you look at it and as we go on. And that is what Ryan Poles has done an excellent job at this season. And I got to give, much like with Ben, with Caleb, with the growth, Ryan Poles got this draft class right. Now let's see how many more he can get right, because you need to keep restocking that talent through the draft. And we got some pretty big holes that we need to hit this year. And let's see if the Bears can do it. But that's it. This is the moment that the Bears are building towards. What happening on Saturday, that is the moment. No excuses, no shortcuts, just execution and play. That's what the Bears need to bring on Sunday. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and turn notifications on as well. You can follow us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, chicagobearscentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.